and welcome back to Ralston Live. I'm your host, John Ralston. Today we welcome back a friend of mine for a long time, Cary Hall. He's an attorney and a musician, but we're here to talk about some legal things today. Criminal consequences for social media trash talk or things that people might get mixed up in. First of all, Cary, thanks for coming on the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to see you again, man.
It's now, are profiles really private?
What, like on Facebook or Twitter or things like that? I gotta think not.
Yeah.
I mean, anytime you put anything on in the internets, in the cyberspace, it's somebody's got it.
Right.
I mean, there was just something in the news over the past couple of days. There's some app or some kind of program that can age your face, and here's what you look like 50 years from now or something. And there's all kind of controversy about the company being owned by a Russian company. And now they have license to use your likeness for whatever they want to forever and ever. Amen. People are a little upset about that.
Yeah.
But they didn't read the fine print, and they wanted to see what they looked like when they were older, and now it's out there for somebody to use.
Well, it seems like people are getting involved with those surveys and things like that, and it takes you to another page and it says, do you give permission, to use all your photos and all your friends? And I just stay away from those things.
Well, it's difficult nowadays in the 21st century, unless you're going to completely go off the grid and go live in Idaho in the hills someplace, not to be dealing with the internet and things like that. If you want to use a smartphone, you're going to have to give permission to the terms of services for whatever app you're downloading or for whatever programming you're using, Outlook, Microsoft, anything nowadays. If you use a computer, you're giving away your information, you're giving away potentially photos, whatever you're typing. It's out there someplace. Somebody's got it.
Yeah, I don't like to be too paranoid about the whole thing.
The conspiracy theories, but
it's out there.
But do you care? I
right.
mean, I don't know. If people want to steal my personal information, I don't know. Am I that interesting? I
Right,
don't know.
exactly.
But, maybe my social security number
Right.
is for someone to open a credit card. But my likeness, I can't imagine it's going to be on billboards without my permission. So maybe I don't care. And so I don't get too
I've been in radio.
paranoid.
I've been a marketing professional for a long time. So I like my name getting around.
Right.
So, that's kind of the risk that I take. And I guess a lot of people are in the same situation. If I'm arrested or I have a case pending, do I go in there and delete my profile, or does that look bad?
No, I think it's okay. I mean, everybody should use common sense, I would think. I mean, I used to think wisdom would hit you like a lightning bolt coming down from a mountain, but anymore I think it's just a little voice inside your head saying maybe that would be a stupid thing to do, and then you don't do it. If you wouldn't want your mom to see it, don't put it on Facebook. If you wouldn't want your kids to see it, don't put it on Facebook.
Right.
If you don't want it coming out when you run for the Senate, don't put it on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
If you've got an underage drinking citation, maybe don't put the high school keg party pictures up there.
Right. Well, there goes my political career.
Yeah, well, mine too, so it's okay. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
And that's all right with me.
So why shouldn't I post something if a case is pending and I'm mad and I'm right about my case?
I guess there's lots of reasons, but one is just perception. Do you come off as crazy? Do you come off as angry? Anyone in the justice system can kind of put a spin on things. I mean, you take out the word "not," and all of a sudden you just made a positive statement. I mean, people can cut, and especially in like I say, the 21st century, you can edit and you can insert things to make anything seem like you said anything. But for the most part,
especially today.
Yeah, especially today. Don't put yourself in compromising positions.
So humility and keeping your mouth shut is gold.
That's right. I think so. And treating other people like you'd want to be treated. The old 21st century golden rule and everything you learned in kindergarten still applies to social media.
Because you would think that some people are mad, and I've seen it happen, where people are mad about a situation that they're in, and they're saying, "Oh, I have proof. I have a video. I have, and here's the video."
You can get in trouble that way. And when you put something out there on social media, you can't unring the bell. You can't, even if you delete it, it's still there. If you delete a picture that you take on your cell phone, it's still there. somebody can get it. The Geek Squad at Best Buy or whatever, they're going to find it. They're going to get it. And so will the cops. If you do something criminal, if you post something, you with the guns and you don't have a license to carry a firearm,
Right.
trouble.
Or a big pile of cash. Oh, look at all this cash I got.
Yeah, I'm not paying taxes for it. Or
Right.
you make a threat against somebody. That in itself, that's where people wind themselves into some criminal hot water.
You see kids on chat rooms and stuff, and kids are mouthy, or they get
grown-ups are
bullied.
mouthy.
Grown-ups, yeah. I'm not real proud of some people. I'm not proud of myself all the time on social media, but kids in general getting busted for defamation and things like that, or they say something like, "Oh, they're kidding around and they're acting like they're tough," and they'll say, "Oh, I'll come over to your house and do something to you."
It makes it difficult when you, say, text something like that or put something like that on Facebook or in a chat room because you don't have the context. If I'm laughing when I say, "Oh, yeah, I'm going to come over there and punch you in the mouth, John," I'm way over here. It's not going to happen. I'm smiling. You don't see the veins in my neck.
Right.
But if somebody writes those words in a text, it looks like a threat. And now you're stuck with that. It's out there, and somebody can call the cops and say, "Hey, this person's threatening me. Look. Here's my cell phone. Look, see, they're threatening me." Next thing you know, you may get a knock on the door and you have charges filed against you. Now you've got to deal with it. Tell it to the judge. You don't want to be in a situation like that, so avoid it.
I've seen a case where a kid, he was, kind of joking around, and he was going to shoot up the school or something like that, which is taken very seriously
nowadays,
now,
absolutely,
for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But like the bail was like $500,000.
Right, it's crazy.
He went away, and he was not doing well in prison and stuff. And you could hear the facts of the case and know that he was joking around in a chat room. It was actually related to some war game that he was playing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said this in a chat room. He's just feeling aggressive, and he's saying that, and changed his life.
Again, if it's taken out of context, or people figure we're not going to roll the dice and see whether or not this kid's joking around or whether or not this kid's got something explosive in his backpack when he comes into school.
Well, let's get back to defamation.
Okay.
What's the difference between libel and slander?
All right, well, defamation is when somebody says something untrue about someone else, and there are consequences for that. If somebody disparages someone else's business, and says, "Oh yeah, they cheat, they lie, they'll scam you, they'll rip you off." Well, that can affect the bottom line for somebody, and whether or not their kids are going to be able to afford a new pair of shoes. Those are some damages, especially if somebody says something untrue. And in these days, it's real easy to do online. You get maybe some small businesses that have the Hatfield and McCoy type of feud, and they start saying trash to each other, things like that. If someone says it out loud, just verbally, that's slander. Libel is written. So libel, it used to be newspapers. Now it's anything on the computer, social media, anything written. So that's the difference between the two. But there has to be some damages. People have to hear it. If I go scream it in the wilderness and the only one that hears it is Smokey Bear, that's not defamation because there's no damages. Nobody heard it. But if somebody hears it, if I tell you and you tell him, okay, now people are hearing it, and that's where the damage can occur. You put it out there on social media, the world sees it, even if you pull it off, because things happen in microseconds. So, and it's always out there, and you think you deleted it, but again, maybe you didn't, and maybe in some world it's out there, the deep web, whatever you want to call it, it's out there. So it's a problem.
Well, that's why I love having you in here to talk about these issues. Is there something that you can share with us as far as a case that you may have dealt with? I know there's you can't tell us a bunch of details.
Well, no, I mean, I'll tell you about a
particular
case. I mean, 5 years ago was the first, I think it was the first reported appellate decision in Pennsylvania, and it was a girl that was 18. And she, I guess, was upset with a 15-year-old friend of hers and said something on Facebook about the 15-year-old having herpes, and she should really, stop spreading her legs like her mother. Oh, and,
wow.
The 15-year-old and the mother got a little upset about that and called the cops. And it was immediately taken down off of Facebook, but by that time, friends had seen it. Friends of friends had seen it. The girl's name was used. There was no confusion about who it was, and ultimately went to trial. for a third-degree misdemeanor harassment. And she was found guilty, and she was on probation for 6 months and had to pay court costs of about $1,400. And she had a criminal record now at age 18, trying to get a job, trying to get into college or whatever. And it was a big hassle. Well, they appealed it to the Pennsylvania Superior Court, and the Pennsylvania Superior Court affirmed it and said, yeah, that's what it is. You can't do it. And especially because you're talking about the sexual promiscuity about somebody, of a minor, and you're accusing somebody of having an STD. Big no-nos in Pennsylvania. Now, there's lots of other things that you couldn't say. Where's the line? Who knows? But don't be the one to test it and end up getting your name in the published appellate decision that comes down a week from now. So
that's a hard lesson to learn for somebody that young.
Yeah, and it's so easy to just type that, and there it is, and you go, oh, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to shake the Etch-a-Sketch. I'm going to delete it. It's out there. So think about it before you hit send, before you hit return.
We got a new decision about it's not expunging records, but it's about getting rid of some of the less severe crimes that people have in Pennsylvania.
The Pennsylvania.
I'm sure you can explain it really well.
I know all about it. I do criminal defense. It's called Pennsylvania Clean Slate Law.
Okay.
They seal the record, so it's not officially expunged, but the only people that can see it are the courts and the criminal justice authorities. Because there are some crimes and penalties that the more you do them, the higher the penalties. Like your first DUI, there's a particular penalty. Your second, your third, your fourth, the penalties escalate. They get worse. Same with retail thefts, things like that. So the courts need to know if you've ever done this before, but your employers won't. So there are different classes of convictions, mostly your more minor misdemeanors, that the state has started to seal automatically.
Now, what if somebody has something, they look up themselves, a background check or something like that, and they see something on there that they believe should not be there anymore? Is that something you could help people with?
Oh, sure. I mean, you can file a petition for expungement if you qualify for that under Pennsylvania law. You can also file a petition for the sealing of the record. Like I said, Pennsylvania's starting to do that automatically for some of them, but maybe some people don't want to wait until they get around for it. You think you're applying for a job, you're applying for whatever you're doing, you're moving out of state, you don't want to have to worry about any of that mess. Yeah, you can file petitions with the court. And if you're eligible, if you fall under the class of people that are eligible for these particular convictions, which are usually minor, and you did something stupid when you were a kid, and 20 years later it's still haunting you.
Yeah.
It's good to get that off your record. It's kind of like checking your credit report. Sometimes there's mistakes, sometimes there's things on there that you need to clean up, and there are things that you can do.
Yeah. It's now. Can you help people? You say you can help people do that.
There's absolutely.
And fill out the paperwork for that kind of thing. How do people contact you?
I've got a website. My name's Cary Hall. My website is carybhall.com. It's CARYBHALL.com. You can get me that way. My office is in Norristown, about half a block from the Court of Common Pleas of Montgomery County, which
Very
is
nice.
In it's Norristown. It's not exactly Rodeo Drive in Hollywood, California.
Hey, it's
but
Norristown. You're close to.
I'm close to the action for what
yeah.
I do. I'm a trial attorney, so it's a good place for me to be.
And how's Rougarou doing, the band?
That's my night job. I joke, being an attorney.
I gotta have you guys in the studio.
We got to get in here. Is my day gig, and knight in shining armor by day and rock star by night. So I'm in a band. I play guitar and sing some in a band called Rougarou. We do classic rock. We do a little bit of soul, a couple of Motowns thrown in, stuff that you'll know. Mm-hmm. Nothing too esoteric, nothing too slow. It's more upbeat. People like to dance to it, have a couple of beers. So
yeah, you were a big part of our opening here at PBR Productions.
Yeah, we got to play. A couple of the members of us, we got together and we kind of made a mishmash band. And
what a great day.
Yeah, it was the first time we had played together, and so it was kind of like an open jam, and we just exchanged a few songs that everybody kind of knew. We'd all been playing around for years. And
yeah, I don't think anybody knew you guys hadn't.
No, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. How the guys doing in the band?
We're doing well. I mean, like I say, this isn't our day gig. We do it for fun, and we have fun with it. I mean, we play once or twice a month, And we take the summers off because we like to go and do things, like take vacations and things. But we're playing at the beginning of August,
Right.
in Skip Back. So we're doing that, and then our schedule starts to fill back up in fall and winter. So
What do you say? Play twice a month in
about that,
in
about
the
that,
peak?
about that, yeah, about twice,
And,
3 times a month.
Tell us about WMGK. You were up for that?
We I don't think we're doing it this year, but for the last 2 years we were. You have to submit. They have a house band competition,
Right,
WMGK, the classic rock station out of Philly, and you submit a gazillion bands, send in things, and we got picked the last couple of years. I think that narrows it down to 20 or something. Then you've got semifinals and things like that, and it ends up being a popularity contest. But it's fun to do. It gets your name out there, and it's fun to do.
You were a finalist in some way.
Yeah. We got narrowed down, so we're proud of that. We like that. We do it for
I'd
fun.
love going out to see us. Cecilia and I love.
Yeah, you've sat
going
in with
out
us
to
a time or two.
Yeah,
We've
I'll
pulled
come
you
out.
up.
I'll come out and sing a ditty with you.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
wear a couple of hats just like I do. So
Right.
we try and do that. We all, we're living life. We're having fun.
When all the vacations are over, we got to have you back.
Oh yeah, we'd like to do it. It'd
That's
be
great.
fun.
Once again, the website, carybhall.com. Cary, thanks for being on the program today.
Hey man, thanks for having me. Good to see you again.
Folks, when we come right back, we have more for you. This is Ralston Live here at PBR Studios in Percy. You can visit them anytime, pbrproductions.com.
Here's your host,